I'm Ashton from EventChain for Investment Pitch Media and FinTech News Network. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Peter Girr, the founder of Wise Token. Peter, welcome to the show, and thanks so much for taking the time to be here.
Thanks. It's great to be here.
You're welcome. I'd love to kick off the show with just a little bit on, your background and how you got into blockchain and how that led into starting Wise Token.
Sure. So I am actually kind of new. I was a gamer in 2016, didn't know anything about Bitcoin, discovered Bitcoin in 2016, and just went, we were talking earlier, went from the system of gaming to the system of blockchain technology, which I think is a lot more interesting. So since then, I've just been learning everything I can about crypto, and now, as you can see, I'm finally launching my own.
Yeah, that's exciting. And if we could, elaborate a little bit on what exactly is the Wise Token project and what's the vision that you laid out when you started it?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, after Bitcoin came out, and then Ethereum and all these other projects started being built on Ethereum, I was trying to discover like these new gems that were coming out, and in my mind, what I was looking for was something that would capitalize on the efficiency of blockchain technology, because the best part about blockchain to me is the fact that you can create a system and put it on a smart contract, and it doesn't cost any money to run. And that amazed me. That blew my mind, because like you can put a financial system on blockchain. And so I was like, wow, like I thought within a few years, Bank of America and Chase Bank would be completely gone, because they've got this high overhead. They got employees, they have brick and mortar buildings that they got to upkeep. They got, stockholders that want dividends. I was like, man, those exact same systems with like certificates of deposit and bonds and loans and stuff like that, those financial things can be put on blockchain. You can trust it even more than the bank, because it's all locked up in the blockchain, and there's no overhead cost. So all that would be overhead costs could just be profits for the user, and it could be just such a better product. So I was looking for something like this, and Bitcoin was awesome. Like Bitcoin is basically a nonprofit project. When you're mining Bitcoin, or when you're trading Bitcoin, you're not giving a fee to Satoshi. It's just a nonprofit, pure project. And after that, I really don't see any pure projects, and I'm like this is ruining the best part about blockchain, which is that efficiency. So there's a couple projects that got really close to what I was looking for, and just as I've discovered and learned more and more about technology, like I took some of the best ideas and created a staking token that is completely decentralized. There's no founder's fee. Everybody's on a level playing field, and it's extremely, extremely efficient.
Yeah, it's very exciting, and especially with these advantages that you can clearly see and you've laid out in the financial industry, when you incorporate decentralized finance in there, more efficiency, faster, cheaper, and all of the above. And there have been other projects, as you've said, that are coming up, and they're doing similar things. What specifically makes Wise Token unique among decentralized finance projects?
So I would say one of the big ones is the fact that you have total and complete control over your crypto. There are many other projects that will give you a return, absolutely, but you have to give up custody of your crypto. And so in Wise, you're staking from your private wallets. I use a MetaMask wallet connected with a Trezor. My crypto is never going to leave that wallet. I can stake my Wise from MetaMask. And when I'm ready to cash out back to Ethereum, I'm going to do that on Uniswap from my MetaMask wallet as well. So I have 100% control of my money with nobody that has any say over it. And even if the government wanted to destroy these systems, they can't, because they're smart contracts. And so I really like the fact that even if somebody wanted to destroy this, they can't. You have complete and total control.
Yeah, it's definitely comforting when users know that they have their funds on a cold storage wallet or on a hardware wallet and can allocate that to a DeFi protocol without giving up custody of their private keys and the passwords to their funds. And you mentioned, trading on the Uniswap exchange, which is the number one decentralized exchange right now. Can you talk about what Wise looks like on that decentralized exchange in terms of, there's the total value that's locked, and what does the liquidity look like on that?
Yeah. So we're doing this differently because nobody else is creating liquidity like we have the potential to create. So Wise has a supply, right? And 50% of the supply is being sold by the contract right now. Like you could go to wisetoken.net right now. That's our website. And it's being sold fairly, by the way. It's all auctioned off. So there's 50 days of auction pools. About 5 million Wise is available every single day. You could send Ethereum to any day, and then that determines the price. Like we set the supply for each pool, and the market determines what the price is by how much Ethereum is sent in. So that 5 million times 50, that's 250 million. That's half our supply. So half is sold there, and then all that money is paired with the other half of supply, and then we send that to Uniswap. So that forms the initial pair. And this is really significant because there's a lot of people who hold like a pre-sale and put a portion of that money on Uniswap, but they're not selling half their supply and then putting 100% of the money on Uniswap. Now we do have startup costs, so it should be 90 to 99% of the money. It's not 100% because we got to actually fund the project. But we're talking selling half the supply and then putting 90% or more money on there. I mean, we already have 1,300 Ethereum in our contract, and it hasn't been live for even a day right now. So we're looking at putting between $50 and $100 million of liquidity on Uniswap. And the cool thing about what we're doing is that that liquidity is not removable. And we're not just like locking the LP tokens, we're sending the LP tokens to a burn address. So it is legit, not just like locked up for a period of time, but no one can ever pull that ever, which means that massive pool of liquidity that is created when people buy is not going anywhere. It backs up the project. So we don't really see anybody putting $100 million of liquidity on Uniswap from the get-go. And that's something that's really exciting to me about Wise. If we can, pull this off and have that much, even $10 million of rugless liquidity would be awesome too. But I think this is going to make a big impact, and people are going to start to realize the importance of liquidity. Like I think we're starting to see it. C Vault Finance, the core token, they did it the right way. They locked massive amounts of liquidity. There's like $20 million, $30 million of locked liquidity there, and their token is doing pretty well because of it. And so that is the idea there. Of course, we've been working on this for a year now, but locking liquidity, I think, is the best thing you could do for the tokenomics of your project.
Yeah, that does sound really exciting. And I think it's admirable to have a fair launch, right? That's what a lot of investors that are really looking for, long-term holds and value projects, is they look for a fair launch. And there are a lot of companies that try to, give themselves an advantage early on, when really the founders who create the project, especially in a decentralized project, are looking to grow it for the community. And you mentioned that it's hard for the founders or the admins to shape the project or to change things. How exactly does that work? And is there a community say, or is there anybody that can have a say over how Wise gets shaped as the project continues to grow?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, because most projects will have some type of admin keys, like, SushiSwap admin keys. Pretty much every single project that has been out in the last 2 months has admin keys. Uniswap is one that doesn't have admin keys. It has an admin switch to turn on a percentage of the referral going to a percentage of the transaction fees going to the team, which can be turned on and off, but there's no admin keys that can change the contract itself. Wise doesn't have any admin keys. It is 100% immutable, which means that the project is 100% complete. You can build on top of it, but you can't change it. So 100% complete, no admin keys, and audited by CoinFabric, which is one of the top names in the auditing DeFi space. So we have that on our website. At the bottom right-hand corner of our website, there's a link to our Coin Fabric audit. We've also had it informally audited by several groups as well. So there's 100% decentralization. Because, I've been in those projects where there's just one weak link being like, this is a great project, but if the founder does the wrong thing, then it's going to fall apart. And what I've come to learn is, like, no matter how much you trust the person, like, it's always better to just have it decentralized. And so with Wise, like, you can sleep easy at night, not having to worry about me going crazy or doing something, or the devs running off with the money, because every single aspect of it is decentralized. The only thing that I can't control is adoption. So I've created something that it's a wonderful system, and it's 100% decentralized. It can make you a lot of money. The only factor, the only question in this is, will it be adopted? And so far, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, definitely, Peter. And now a lot of people, they see you can stake Wise, you can earn funds, but people that are newer to the DeFi space, they're trying to grasp their hands around the perceived value, and they often compare it to a company that has traditional products or services that are providing some kind of value to the users. Do you have any analogy on what is the function of owning Wise and then contributing it and adding value to the community?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a question that I think is misunderstood a lot. For instance, let's talk about YFI for a second. A lot of people look at the YFI system, and the reason why they trust it is because they think all the value comes from the fact that all that money in the vaults gets lended out to protocols like Aave, Compound, etc. And this is true. Value does come from that. But what percentage of the value comes from that? Let's think about this for a second, because if you do really well lending out to these protocols, because that's all these protocols do. They like check what's the best one for today. Oh, well, it's staking Ethereum on Aave, so whatever it is, and it switches around to the best one. If you do really well in these protocols, you're only making like 14% ROI on your money, which is great, compared to the stock market or something like that. But how many thousands of X have people made on the YFI token? So you got to ask yourself, if the maximum value you can make lending to these protocols is like 14% ROI, how are people making 1,000X? How much of the value is actually from what you think it's from?
Yeah.
A very little point, because people are making thousands of X. Well, where's all the other value coming from? Well, it's from adoption. And it's the same way with every asset. Like, it's no different. If everybody today, something catastrophic happened, and everybody today was like, I trust the Mexican peso now more than the US dollar, so I'm going to trade my US dollars for Mexican pesos, the dollar would tank and the Mexican pesos would go up. Every single system of money, every single asset that's worth anything needs adoption, and that's just it. Like, crypto is no different. It needs adoption, and all the value comes from the adoption. It does, like, a very small sliver of it comes from the actual usefulness itself. So the question is, what's the most useful thing to do with the money in order to create value, now that we know this? And like, our theory is that, hey, we actually think it's better to put all that money on Uniswap rather than lending it out to protocols, because we could absolutely take that huge pot of money and be like, okay, we're going to do the same thing YFI does and lend it out to protocols. But I think putting it on Uniswap actually creates a bigger value proposition, because it allows people to cash in and cash out with like pretty much zero slippage. So it allows our market cap to grow exponentially. Somebody will have no problem putting $1 million in or cashing $1 million out. And that's the kind of thing you need to be able to grow to a multi-billion-dollar market cap. And so I'm looking at, what's better, having a protocol that makes me 14% ROI per year, or having all that money on Uniswap that's backing up the market. Now I know I have the grease to be able to slide right up to a couple $2 billion market cap without any problems, and then have a referral program to create the value for me. Because I think that's the other thing that's missing in some of these projects. Because even if you create amazing tokenomics, if you don't create long-term adoption, then you're just going to like kind of lose air like a helium balloon over time, where it just kind of gets flatter and flatter. Like the tokenomics can be amazing, but if you don't have the adoption to back it up, and if you don't have a mechanism to create ongoing adoption, then like less and less people are going to use it. And so we have amazing marketing. In addition to like all the ads we are running, we took like 4 months just to approach a bunch of YouTubers. And so like we have 20 of them on board, including BitBoy, Vosscoin, CryptoBud, like a lot of the big ones. And I believe that, after we put a big chunk of money on Uniswap, that a lot of people are going to talk about us, even if I wasn't able to reach them through my marketing campaigns too. So we have this initial outreach that's going to, make a big impact. And then our referral program is just designed so well that it can literally make somebody very rich and continue to make them rich over time if they like Wise Token, and if they introduce it to their community, and if they keep up with people and they stake the token as well. Like this is something that could create financial freedom for people, and it never stops. Like it doesn't get worse. So I think the fact that we have those two things, the big pot of money on Uniswap and an amazing marketing program that just doesn't die, I believe that's where our ROI is going to come from.
Yeah, very well said, Peter. And you did say that you have great adoption so far, and the project, you've just launched it, and you're getting great adoption. And we're running out of time, but I'd like to get more information about how users can reserve tokens. Are there any, where do you participate? Are there any restrictions or requirements, and how can I do that?
Yeah, so we're having our pre-sale right now. There's no worry about missing out until November 11th. So yeah, from now till November 11th to figure it out, because the pools that I was talking about, where there's about 5 million available a day, they start on November 11th, that's day 1, and then December 30th is day 50. So basically you have all that time to figure out how these pools work, decide which ones you want to enter in. Obviously what you're trying to do is figure out a strategy to invest in the pools that have the least amount of Ethereum, but you kind of have to guess it. It's all game theory. You're not going to know for sure ahead of time. So that's obviously going to get the best deals. Once we put it on Uniswap, it will be the average price, because remember, we're selling 50%, and then we put 50% on Uniswap paired with the money. So whatever the average price is, that's going to be the Uniswap price. So if you can do better than average in figuring out which pools to put in, you're good to go. Or if you just want to send an equal amount to all 50 days, then you're going to get the average as well. The thing is, if you want to benefit from the referral program, like either as a referrer or as a referee, just using the link, you get a 10% bonus for participating in the pre-launch, because we want to incentivize people to create this big pot of money on Uniswap. So there's a 10% bonus both ways for actually participating before it gets listed on Uniswap, and then after that, all the markets just on Uniswap and wherever else it pops up.
Great. And what's the best location for the viewers to learn more information?
Yeah, just our basic main website is wisetoken.net. So that is our root website. Anybody that makes a referral link, I'm sure you'll see a bunch of other different ways to get there, because your referral link is just your Ethereum address with a piece of code that links it back to our site. And anybody that clicks a referral link, they get a cookie in their browser, and then that's how that works. But if you want to use my referral link, it's wisestaking.com. I'd appreciate it. But if you want to make your own or just go to our sites without a referral link, it's just wisetoken.net.
Sounds great, Peter. I will leave those links in the description box below. Thank you so much for your time. All the best on Wise Token moving forward, and let's follow up in the near future.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.